Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's the flyest vlogger on the planet. My name is Showtime Lazar. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great, positive, productive day as always. You know I got hip-hop news, cultural updates, and everything like that for you guys today. But before we do any and all that, you know what you got to do. See that subscribe button on your screen right there. I need you to click that, turn that bell icon on so each and every time one of my videos drop, the content that I'm providing to you, you don't miss it. Let's get into it, y'all. Drop my intro. YouTube, what up, though? All right, guys. So let's get into a couple things here. So, well, a few things here. So let's start by talking about this situation that involved Uncle Shay, Shannon Sharpe, and the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, over the weekend, Shannon Sharpe had a back and forth with a couple players from the Memphis Grizzlies. Most notably Dillon Brooks. He did have a little conversation with Steven Adams, as well as Ja Morant, and as well as Ja Morant's dad, T. Morant. Now, Shannon Sharpe did issue an apology for the altercation and for causing a distraction. Here's what Shannon Sharpe had to say about the incident on his show Undisputed with Skip Bayless. Here's what he said. Take a listen.
Friday night at the Lakers game, I want to apologize for my behavior. You know, guys, I've preached for the last 6.5 years, responsibility and accountability. And I take full responsibility for what transpired. It does not matter what Dillon Brooks said or how many times he said it. Me being the responsible person, me having the platform that I have and having so many people look up to me, I was wrong. I should have lowered the temperature in the arena. Instead, I turned the temperature up and I let it get out of hand. And I want to apologize to a few people. First of all, I want to apologize to the Lakers organization, Jeannie Buss, the Buss family. I apologize for any harm or unwanted attention that I brought to your organization. I want to apologize to the Memphis Grizzlies. Organization and fans, I am sorry. More specifically, I want to apologize to Dillon Brooks. He is a fierce competitor.
Now, first off, I do want to commend Shannon Sharpe for apologizing, mainly because he basically just wanted people to know that his actions were wrong, even though I don't think they were. I'm going to get into that in a second. But his actions were wrong. He apologized to Dillon Brooks. He even praised Dillon Brooks for being a fierce competitor. He apologized to the Lakers organization. He didn't want that to be a representation of him as a person nor a representation of the organization. He apologized to T. Morant, Ja Morant, you know, real stand-up guy. So I commend him for that. Like, salute to him. But I do want people to understand something here. When you're a competitor and you compete at the highest level, sometimes your emotions tend to overflow. I don't want people to think that Shannon Sharpe is just ignorant or bad for the game or anything like that, or you know, showing his ass just because he had a back and forth with a player. When you see competitors competing at the highest level and you're able to sit front row like that, it brings your competitive nature out of you. Again, this is a Hall of Fame tight end we're talking about here. So he's been, not only is he a Hall of Fame tight end, he's won a couple Super Bowls if I'm not mistaken. So his emotions just got the best of him, and that just tends to happen. The only reason I feel like he shouldn't have apologized is just because I don't think his actions, the only thing I think he shouldn't have apologized for is I don't think the Lakers or the fans, even though a lot of the fans were okay with his actions, I don't think the fans think that we don't want this guy representing us, or the Lakers think that we don't want these type of people in here. They might, but he didn't do it to where it looked malicious or it looked like somebody who can't control themselves. It was just a back and forth between guys that are, again, competitors. And that's all that was. It just spilled a little bit over because the barking got a little obsessive. But nevertheless, again, I do want to say that him apologizing shows that he's a real stand-up guy. But again, me being an athlete once upon a time in my life, I do know that tends to happen. So let me know what you guys thought about the whole incident. What were your thoughts on what Shannon Sharpe said, Dillon Brooks said, the whole incident? Did you see it? Let me know all that in the comments below. All right, guys, on to the next subject here. So I want to talk about this situation at Bethune-Cookman College. in which students are planning a protest for a multitude of reasons. Poor living conditions, low budget of the school, and the nail in the coffin was that the school decided they're not going to hire former NFL Hall of Fame safety Ed Reed. Now, while the hiring of Ed Reed for their football program was not the students' highlight or the reason for them protesting, it didn't help that the school decided not to hire a Hall of Fame player. Now, just to speak a little bit on that, the attention that would have brought for a HBCU and the amount of support people would have brought Bethune-Cookman College, it's just not a good idea for them not to go and hire Ed Reed. We see what Deion Sanders did for Jackson State. Despite how people may feel about him leaving, we see the attention that brought Jackson State. Jackson State stayed in the media because of Deion Sanders. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like Ed Reed could have done that same thing. So I'm gonna just say that. Now, with the whole living conditions, students were complaining that there were rats in the dorm rooms, very messy, just poor living conditions. I'm gonna just sum it up and say poor living conditions, especially for college students. When it comes to HBCUs, this is not the first time I've heard HBCUs being severely underfunded. Obviously, NFL players or alumni alone are not going to be are not going to change those situations just because of their celebrity. They're going to need government funding. And I think that's the bigger issue here. I think the students that attend these schools, these HBCUs, they would like that government funding just as well as the other universities. You know what I mean? And I feel like they're tired of having to scratch and claw and pull teeth in order for them to get the same opportunities as these other universities, which I agree with. It's unnecessary. You know what I mean? There's a lot of public figures that went to these schools, and they can only do so much. It's a lot of celebrities that have gone to HBCUs, and no matter how much they give back, they're limited. And the reason that they're limited because the amount of money that's going to take to rebuild these schools, rebuild these dorm rooms, give them practice facilities for these athletes, or give them, a decent library for the students to work at. And I don't know if, libraries and all that are a factor, but I have heard practice facilities and all that stuff are not the best in the best conditions. I just think it's unfair that someone who's trying to further their education, black people in particular, they have to go through still living in the slums, and nobody's talking about this. Nobody's trying to fix these issues, and they're talking about it, but it's not a huge issue like it should be. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be having a conversation about solely Ed Reed and Deion Sanders being the guys that's gonna make HBCUs more popular or bring more money to HBCUs. No, the government should want to give more money to HBCUs because these individuals decided to further their education and should be rewarded for furthering their education. That's just my thoughts on that, though. Let me know what you guys think about the whole situation. There's more to come as the stories continue to unfold. But let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comments below. Alright, guys, and the last thing I'm going to discuss with you guys today before I get up out of here, this Blueface and ChriseanRock. So, allegedly, Chrisean is pregnant with Blueface's child. Now, we seen the last couple clips. Well, there's been a bunch of clips floating around on social media. Some of them are of them having a one-on-one. I think his name is Dr. Ish. Then there's another clip of them on No Jumper where she spazzes and she's escorted out of the room. And then that was the final straw for Blueface. Then he gets on Twitter. It says that a bunch of guys smashed, and so that's probably not his baby, etc., etc. I'm not gonna say anything else that I'm not gonna say anything that a lot of people haven't said already, which is their whole relationship is extremely toxic, and I think that bringing a child into this situation is probably not the best idea, especially right now, being that Blueface is talking about y'all not even together. You know what I mean? And you allegedly, Chrisean allegedly had sex with 10, 12 guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even how you want to start. We don't even know how, many weeks or months pregnant she is, and that already sounds stressful, that you and the potential father of your child, A, he's not claiming it, and B, y'all starting off on the wrong foot already. So it's already just gonna continue to go down here. I hate that for both of them, because them being so young, you don't need to go through it. And we see a lot of their relationship play out on TV and in the media. And a lot of times when those celebrity relationships play out like that, they don't end well. You know what I mean? Bobby and Whitney, that's a prime example. That's the biggest example. It just didn't end well. Too much toxicity going on. And, Ike and Tina, that's another big example. Too much toxicity going on. And it continued to fester and get worse and worse and worse. So, I don't want that for them, because they obviously have the chance to change that whole dynamic and make it something positive. But at this rate, they're not doing it. We're never talking about anything positive when it comes to Blueface and Chrisean. We're never talking about their music. We're never talking about them in business ventures or none of that. They have a whole TV show, and it's just them being even more toxic. Like, we're laughing at them, and they don't even see that. You know what I'm saying? So I hate that for them. But again, just pray for that situation to get better. Let me know what you guys' thoughts and opinions are in the comments below. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And until next time, I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.